Alright, so welcome to my little tutorial here. This is just a basic roleplay tutorial. I can get a little more in detail probably if I need a next tutorial. This is not going to tell you how to build a site. I already have one for Gaia, and I might do one with a partnership with somebody else on how to use other sites and how to build them. First off is a very frequent question asked by other people to myself, excuse me. It is, what is online role playing? People usually think online role playing is like sexting, but that's not what online role playing is. There's a type, and that's usually called cybering, and people usually frown down upon that, but it usually kind of depends on what crowd you're in. Okay, so online role playing is basically a group of people put together playing their own role in a story in writing, basically collaborating with each other, making a story. There are several sites for role playing. There is, for me, the ones that I am familiar with would be Gaia Online, ProBoard, and Envision Free. And Gaia Online is a site not just for role playing. You can make your own avatar. You can go shopping for your little avatar thing, and you can go chat. You can go play games. There's a lot of things to do on Gaia. So unlike Gaia, ProBoard and Envision Free are kind of like brother-sister sites. They're built differently. Like you make things in a different way. You can't use the same codes in them. But basically, it is a site where you make a form from the ground up, which means that a person has built everything that you see in front of you. All the graphics, all the writing is all made by a person or several people, and they're usually the administrators. And it's a little more friendly for Envision Free or ProBoard because people are a little more, it's a little more personal. But that said, if people don't follow rules, it can get a little dramatic, and nobody wants that. So follow the rules. Rules are good. So, how do you role play? Alright, so, like I said, role playing is people together collaborating to make a story. What you do is you make a character, other people make a character, and you play off of each other, playing off roles. Like, you wake up one morning and you brush your teeth, and then you talk to your mom. You don't know that you're playing yourself as your role and your mom as your mom. But you guys are playing roles, and that's basically what role playing is, but in writing, and it's a little more exciting because you can play God and you get to choose. What is a post? A post is the reply, the writing. There's two different kinds. There is script, which is basically people don't really like script. That's something that you do really, really fast. You say your character's name and you put it in brackets like you would see in a script, and you would do an action somehow and show that it's some sort of action, like you put asterisks beside the action, and then you'd say words. It's faster, it's less detailed, it's easier to go with, but people don't usually like doing it. The other type is paragraph form, and paragraph form is basically like you would see in a novel where people are interacting with each other. There's more detail, there's more getting into the story, and you can feed off of each other better. Another question that is oftenly asked by people are parts of a profile skeleton or profile sheet or profile application, which is basically a application or sheet of things that you fill out so people get to know your character better. Gaia, people usually ask for your username first so they know who's playing who, to keep tabs on who's online and all blah blah blah. And then there's name. Name is your character's name. That's basically easy. So whatever name you're creative with, Amanda Weber, Austin Gray, whatever. And then age is the age. Now, the reason that they ask for an age is because we don't want some girl who looks 16 walking around and say my character wants to interact with that character in a more romantic way. Then I find out she's 4. That usually there's a problem. I don't know how a 4-year-old would be a 16-year-old. It's happened before. People are weird. Then there's the personality. The personality is so we can get to know your character, to understand the foundation a little more, to understand how they would react to things, and if it's a character we want to react with. For instance, my little angel sweetheart won't really want to interact with your demonic thing because your demonic thing might destroy my angelic sweetheart. The biography or the history is important. It is the foundation of your character. It is the history of your character. It is what has made your character today. So let's say that Amanda Weber was orphaned at 12. That's important because Amanda Weber was orphaned at 12, she has an insecurity with herself and the people around her because she thinks has abandonment issues. That is a very important part of the character for us to understand, for us to get to know, and obviously for you to get to know too. Some more fantasy, more combat roleplays will ask for weapons and powers. There are always rules for weapons and powers, and I would pay close attention to those because you don't want to sit there and have this awesome power and then you send it in and they're like, no, that's not allowed. Because that always sucks. Appearance is obviously a description or an image of your appearance. A face claim is the same thing, but that's not how what you fill in for your face claim. This is Penny. Yeah, no, obviously this is not Penny. If you saw the Sailor Moon series, this is Usagi or Sailor Moon. But I am using Usagi's face as my character's face claim, which means I'm claiming her face as my character's. That's very important. People ask me that all the time, what's a face claim? And I didn't know at first either, and it's just easier to explain this way. Okay, what type of rules are there? There are 2 different types of rules. There might be more, but the basics are like 2 types. It is the forum rules, how you're going to interact with fellow role players, and the character rules, how you can make your character. The character rules are, you know, basically like the weapons and powers. You can't have this certain power because, or we don't want this kind of personality because it won't fit into the background of what we're looking for. The forum rules are how you interact with other players, such as, don't be mean, don't be a drama llama, just something to keep the roleplay forum pleasant with other role players. Otherwise, things can fall and crash and drama ensues and it's chaos. Okay, so how do you get started? First off, definitely you have to read the plot. Because the plot is very, very important. Because you don't want to sit there and go, well, this roleplay looks like it's about stars and angels when you only looked at this picture that was on top and it's actually about some alien taking over the universe and you must fight against it because then you're just going to look stupid. Rules are very important because there's something you're supposed to follow to make things pleasant and make things easygoing. Some forums are a little more strict about rules than others. Only because of the level. There's different literature levels, which is like noob, literate, semi-literate, and then advanced literate, and then the triple advanced literate, where they like write a whole novel for that post, and it drives me crazy, but there's people out there like that, and they enjoy it, so what can I say? So after you do that, you need to basically look into the rules and say, okay, what are my limits for my character? What do I want my character to be like, and where do I put this application so that the administrators can reach it and I don't look dumb? Well, they will tell you where to put your application, so look carefully for that. For Gaia, it's usually private messaging. Sometimes it's posting, but when you look for rules in private messaging, try to find they have titles to make sure you read the rules. So I would definitely look for the title. How to navigate a page. Alright, so Gaia Online is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm going to go to Pro Board and Division Free. In Pro Board and Division Free, it's always different. The titles are always different. They try to be a little more creative with it. I just had the image up. Just had it. Don't know where it went. Where'd you go? There's a cat outside my door. Oh my god, I just had it. Okay. So, I have here, this is an excerpt from the roleplay I'm in, Kingdom Unleashed, and this is the front page, and you see here the forum name, topics, posts, last post. We're going to look at the first section that said Start Game. And what we're going to do is I'm going to explain to you basically what you're looking for. Okay, so you see start game, and then you see load game. Obviously, load game is some weird creative thing they did, which is actually kind of cute to me. But I mean, it's about Kingdom Hearts, so it's load game doesn't tell us anything. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to read the description under it, and basically what this contains are the rules, the ranks, Moogle Shop, everything else to navigate the kingdom. Then we have character application, which is also important. That's what has the application template, and then the accepted pending characters, like which characters have been accepted and which characters are being reviewed, and the announcements and news. That's very important in the site. Some will have, like, they're all different on how they're organized. The basic one that I just showed you is basically how that usually goes. It's usually in top. Then they'll usually have places to roleplay. Guide Online isn't as complicated as this. Envision Free and Pro Board are for a little more advanced role players. I'm not very advanced, but I'm not, like, okay, I, like, had no life for the longest time, honestly. So there's how to navigate that part. It's important to know where you need to place things, because if you place things in the wrong place, things get embarrassing. Obviously, there's a lot of room for embarrassment in this if you don't pay attention. So airheads beware. That's all I have right now. If you have any questions or anything that you want to ask, I will answer them. I will not answer something I have already answered. It will not happen. I'll just tell you to relook at the whole thing. Thank you for tuning in. I'm surprised you're tuning in, and have a